Or oh my gosh, I can't put two sentences together.
We're in trouble.
Welcome, Casselberry. It is now time to have a casual conversation for the beneficial good of our community. The show you are about to listen to is called What's Up, Casselberry? And now it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you your hosts, Andy and Drew, along with producer Robin.
What's up, Casselberry? It's Drew. Producer Robin here, without Andy today, but we are the What's Up Casselberry podcast. It is episode number 97. That's right, as I said off the top, Andy Searles, my co-host and pastor friend right here in Casselberry, Florida, is across the pond, as they say. He is in England, spending quality time with his family. Those of you who are friends with Andy on social media, I hope you do follow Andy J. Searles. You will know that he had a very special birthday surprise for his dad, took him to a soccer game and had all kinds of fun. So Andy, we wish you well and look forward to having you back as of the next recording. Producer Robin, though, you're with me. How are you today, my friend?
I'm well. I'm
Excellent.
Promoted, I guess, again.
Yes, you're back. We're co-hosting together. Producer Robin, how are you? Excited for Christmas? Are you looking around? What's just your general vibe about the holidays?
You know, no matter that they're the same time every year, they always take me by surprise. So looking forward to them, but I'm also like, how are we here again?
I know, right? It's crazy. I do see a little bit of holiday spirit behind me, or behind you rather, on the Zoom. You got your Christmas tree up?
Yep, my little Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Charlie, that's always the cutest, you know? It's just like the little tree that could. We actually, as of this recording, decorated at our house, and having a son that's now mobile, Robin, I had to really think strategically along with Becky of what ornaments, if they were to break, could be broken. So we put our non-breakables there at the bottom, assuming that he's gonna, pull them off and whatnot.
Smart.
How's your family kind of operate with ornaments? Do you have any like family ornaments or special, or did you just go to the store and buy some?
When I was younger, we had this like nativity scene ornaments. So like each ornament was like, baby Jesus, the wise men, that my mom actually made in like a ceramics thing. And they were like, not like kid face, they were just young and sweet, innocent. And they were my favorite. And I single-handedly broke every single one throughout my childhood by just being like dropping them. And I was held on to baby Jesus for so long until he met his end.
Oh no. He was broken into a million pieces. Thankfully, we believe he was resurrected.
That's
all
right.
Is well. That's a cool memory. And folks, we hope you are having some great memories that are being made. Got a Casselberry in the News segment about a memory making event in just a moment. But before we get there, we have to get to Casselberry's most waited for, expectant, advertised time segment, whatever you want to call it. I'll stop with the self-promotion here. It is time for the dad joke of the week.
Yes.
All right, producer Robin, I've got two of them for you. Here we go. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or thumb in the middle, based upon the reaction here. All right, dad joke number one. What did the buffalo say to his son when he went off to college?
What?
Bye, son.
No one can see my thumbs up.
That was a thumbs up. I like it.
Good.
Yes, there you go. Buffalo said bye, son, to the little boy that went off to college. All right, here we go. Number two, another father-son. Maybe it's because I spent time with my dad this last week and had quality memories made with him, and thinking about my own little boy, making memories with him. I've got another father-son joke for you. The dad asked his son, how are you doing with your upcoming exams? Have you prepared well? Are you ready to get a good grade? The son replied, well, that depends on person that sits next to me.
They're great.
Don't promote cheating, but there you go. There you have it, the dad joke of the week. Hope you enjoyed those. And again, if you have a dad joke, shoot it over to our What's Up Casselberry Facebook page or Instagram page. We'd love to read yours on the air. All right. Speaking of dads and things that are going on here locally in Casselberry, wanted to run by our listeners that as of this recording, there is a Santa run happening. That's right. Our annual City of Casselberry put on by the police and fire department. They will be escorting Santa and Mrs. Claus, along with some of his elves, throughout the streets of Casselberry. That's right, December 6th through December 9th, each and every evening. You will hear, if you live in Casselberry or come through Casselberry, the alarm of the fire chief as well as the police department, but don't be alarmed. They're bringing Santa and Mrs. Claus around to give out candy to kids, to wave. And I know I look forward to this time every year. It will be the Santa run each evening, Monday through Thursday, December 6th through the 9th. We'll run from 6 until about 8:30 p.m., beginning and ending at City Hall. So check out the City of Casselberry's page, casselberry.org, and look for the Santa run, and you will see where Santa Claus will be during those days. Robin, are you looking forward to seeing Santa?
Of course. I live right by him.
I know. You're right down the street from City Hall.
I'm sorry. I live right by when he visits Casselberry. He actually lives in the North Pole. But
that's good. Yeah, let's be clear on that. Santa is not residing in Casselberry, but he will be here in Casselberry visiting its patrons December 6th through December 9th. So go outside, take a picture, make a memory. Thank you, City of Casselberry, for putting on this great event. And speaking of thank yous, we are so thankful for our guest. Following our break with our podcast partner, we've got a very special guest. The Seminole County School Superintendent is with us right after the break.
Christian Help is entering our 30th year of empowering family independence in Casselberry. We are getting Central Florida's unemployed back to work. We are feeding thousands of struggling families in the community. We are giving your neighbors hope, but we need your help. Join us on the front lines of Central Florida's economic recovery. To learn more, go to christianhelp.org. That's christianhelp.org. Christian Help is a proud sponsor of the What's Up Casselberry podcast.
Listeners, welcome back to our favorite part of the show where we have a very special guest with us today, our brand new school superintendent, Miss Serita Beamon. Welcome, Serita. We are thrilled that you are here today.
Well, thank you. I am thrilled to be here with you today.
You are arguably one of the most influential leaders in our county who is leading one of the most prominent organizations and shares with parents a very important responsibility to help shape and develop the minds of our children. Now, I've known you for a few years, and that's been a great pleasure in my life. Can we still call you new, though, even though you've been at this job a few months? How long can you wear that new title?
We can use it for today still.
There you go. I think as long as we can, that's great. By way of introduction, then, Serita, if we could just ask a few fun, icebreaker questions. All right. So I know you're the mom of 2 boys. And as we approach the holidays, what gift are you hoping to get from them?
Well, my boys and my husband usually together for the past number of years have gotten me a new purse for Christmas. And so I've not had to buy a purse in a very long time. So I'm looking forward to seeing which purse they picked out this year, because I know that it's tried and true. They're going to probably keep to that same thing for this year. So I'm looking forward to receiving it.
Very good, Serita. So, Serita, you are definitely, as Andy said, one of the most influential people in our community. If Time Magazine were to include you on their 100 most influential people in the world list, and Time Magazine editors, if you're listening to this, we can get you in contact with Serita. Serita, what would you share regarding just a brief bio description of why you should be included on that list?
I would share that the bio is education advocate for all SCPS students. I think that encompasses who I am, who I want to be, and what I would love to be known for at the end of the day.
I love that. National Magazine, and you're giving some props to Seminole County. That's awesome. Serita, final icebreaker question. If you could design your perfect day, where would you spend it? Who do you spend it with, and what do you do?
Well, I'd be with my husband and my boy. We would either be on the beach or we'd be at a live music concert, and we'd be home snuggled up watching a movie. Any of those places, as long as we are all together, we are all healthy and happy, that's a perfect day for me.
That sounds simple, and I hope that as we approach the holidays, you'll have many of those days.
I hope so too. I'm looking forward to having some of those days.
Well, Serita, most of our listeners know you obviously by your title, Superintendent of Seminole County Schools. And in that role of serving as the superintendent for a few months, I'm sure there's just it's probably been drinking out of a fire hose. I imagine that analogy, just lots of new information and meeting people and connecting and learning the ins and outs of the job. Share with us, what's been a surprise for you now that you're sitting kind of in that chair?
And it has been, as you mentioned, a lot and a lot in a very short period of time. But I think the most surprising thing is that it is still quite a bit of fun. I have, as much as I thought I knew and as much as I prepared, there are still so many new experiences being the superintendent. But I love having the student forums and talking to our students and just listening to them about the importance of education and what they think is important. And that's just been so much fun to me. That's been a surprise. How much, even in the midst of all of what we've been living through and all of the new things coming at me at 100 miles an hour, that I'm having fun talking to our students. We have some great kids in Seminole County.
I love that. As a parent, some of my better times are listening to my kids as well, but you get to do that on a broader scale. And I love that. Serita, you and I were at a Leadership Seminole event recently where you were the guest of honor and folks were interviewing you. And I heard you say in that interview that the best piece of advice you'd received as you go into this position is just to be you, which makes a lot of sense to me because I think if we try to be someone else, we often fail at being someone else because we're made to be us. But who is you? What is it that you uniquely bring to this role?
I might talk a little much here because I love to talk. So that's part of who I am. But I'm the middle daughter of 3 sisters with 2 loving parents who taught us the value of education and the importance of hard work. I'm the luckiest woman alive to be married to a wonderful man who is my best friend and my biggest supporter. Feel eternally blessed to be the mother of 2 boys that I love to pieces, and I genuinely like who they are and who I kind of see them growing to be. I am a student that was born and raised right here in Seminole County, educated in our schools. I am a proud graduate of Lake Mary High School. I'm an advocate, as I've already mentioned, for public education. I believe in the importance of public education. I am, although the new superintendent, I'm an old member of Team SCPS and had the pleasure of working with this district and this community for almost 17 years now. And as superintendent, I am looking forward to continuing to kind of cultivate those innovative learning environments throughout SCPS and ensuring that all students have equitable education opportunities that result in them being, achieving their full potential. So that's who I am. And I am so humbled to be your superintendent.
That's fantastic. You are clearly a polished leader and speaker. I loved how you just so clearly shared your heart and who you are, Serita. It's interesting that I didn't realize that you were born and raised right here in Seminole County. And so clearly that makes a lot of sense that your passion for our schools would come through. And Andy and I often say on this podcast that it takes a village, and that when all of us collectively build one another and lift each other up, things are more positive. Tell the listeners and us a little bit about just your leadership style. You talked about providing equitable opportunities. You talked about being a part of a bigger team. But what are some specifics when you come into your office and when you think about holistically, what do I want my stamp to be upon Seminole County schools? How would you describe to us maybe some leadership styles and tidbits?
I would definitely say that my leadership style is kind of the growth mindset. I believe in stretching. and allowing, others to stretch, whether that's the students, whether that's employees. I think we grow into our best selves every day by understanding that every day is a day where we can learn and learn something new. I would guess that my colleagues would tell you that I believe in collaboratively kind of looking at an issue and making data-driven decisions, and that I want them to come and talk with me about all of the pieces of the puzzle so we can make really, really good decisions. And that's part of the style that I think I've always had and that I will always have, because I believe that 10 minds together is always better than one, that there's something good there as we are moving forward and making decisions. And I think as a leader, I am a person that believes in building strong teams. I think you build the teams, you provide the team members with the tools that they need to do their work, and then you trust them to do it. And that is every one of our schools, I think, are strong teams of people that really, really care about our students and are invested in making sure that they have great educational opportunities.
That's been my experience of Seminole County Public Schools. Honestly, from the classroom to the district level, it's just one big team made up of lots and lots of small teams. And I love that. Serita, as you have changed seats on the team from being in the lawyer seat to being in the superintendent seat, how has your view of the district changed, and how has your leadership changed as you've kind of shifted seats within the team?
As a lawyer, my kind of sphere of responsibility is looking at the legal educational issues and working across the district to kind of manage those and implement those changes. So yes, I work with the school board and the superintendent and the cabinet members and the principals, obviously in my work, but now my kind of sphere of collaboration, that circle is even wider. And I am enjoying kind of having to make sure that I'm including the parents and the students and our business community in those kind of decision-making practices. And so that is a way that my leadership style has had to change, because that circle of responsibility is that much wider in the new role as superintendent.
Serita, you have mentioned, obviously, you're very proud of your boys, and your boys are both in our public school system here in Seminole County. Take off the superintendent hat, and just as a parent, what would your expectations be, and what do you desire from all levels within the school, from the boys' teacher to their administration up to the superintendent role?
Well, I'll tell you that both my boys, are very different. They are so different. And it's, I know as parents, we talk about how can that be? You're exactly like you're from the same house and that sort of thing. But they have different learning styles. They have different strengths. They have different opportunities for growth. The parent, I would expect that the superintendent creates a system where both of those boys, my boys, despite their differences, will get a high quality education that is meaningful to them individually, and that allows them both, as different as they are, to thrive and to be ready to thrive in this world that they go out into after they graduate. So that means being able to educate all kids, meet all kids where they are, and help them to move forward. That's what I expect as a parent of the superintendent of the school system that my kids are in.
That's a fantastic answer. And that's almost like the impossible dream, except that you guys keep doing it. I mean, multiply those individual needs by, 63,000 students in the system, each unique, each individual, but somehow you managed to do that. It really is a remarkable thing. Serita, there's much going on at the moment in our school system that's exciting after what's been a very hard season. What are some of the things that you're most excited about as we look to a new year?
Well, yay, and I'm glad you asked me about things, because it's really hard to kind of pick out the one that I'm most excited about. First of all, I'm excited that we are able to do that in an environment where a majority of our students are kind of face-to-face, and that our district, that we are implementing some things to address the students and kind of what they've lived through and make sure that their pathways aren't forever interrupted by the pandemic. That excites me, the things, the programs that we are putting into place to make sure that happens. But I'm also excited just about the fact that we're number one for, STEM and physics in Florida. I'm excited that we are kind of rolling out our third physics bus in this school year. In the spring, we will roll out our physics bus for our electricity. And just like the physics optics bus and the mechanics bus that rolled out in the years before, this will go around to our elementary schools and will engage our young learners and help kind of build that capacity for physics and the higher levels of science and math in their future. And I love that is happening. I'm excited about some of the facilities upgrades that we are seeing, such as at Casselberry Elementary.
Yes.
Yes. Right after the holidays, the first classroom building will be complete. And I think there's 32 classrooms, and Principal Lambert will move our kids on into the new building, and then we'll get started on the second phase of that project. I'm excited about our kids and our staff having the opportunity to be in the new space. So there's a lot of things that I'm excited about in our county that's happening right now that we may not hear about every day, but they are happening. They are making a difference to our students and our families.
I love that. You kind of hit on people, you hit on education, and you hit on the properties themselves. That's a good holistic view. And yes, there's lots to be excited about. Serita, if resources were not an issue, and of course, you're big part of your job is dealing with budgets and the confines of what is available to our school system. But if budget resources were not an issue, and you could really hone in on one thing you'd like to see changed regarding our educational system, what would your feedback to that question be?
Oh, that's a difficult one because, of course, resources are limited, which is part of what I have to do is kind of make those balances and kind of adjust to the limitations that we do have. But if money weren't an object at all in our system, then every one of these fabulous programs that are, kind of throughout our county would be in every one of our schools. We would not, they would all be available for each and every student right there in their home school. But because in the real world, the resources aren't unlimited, what we have to do instead is make sure that our students have access, even if it's not in their home school, that they have access to some of these opportunities if they're interested in them. So we have to create those policies that make family choice really available and accessible. And I think we have, so that if there's a program that you're interested in and your homeschool, like my homeschool is at Lake Howell, but my son is interested in engineering, he's able to go to Lyman and to have real opportunity because there's transportation that will take him there because of our policies. That's what we have to do when the resources are limited and the educational opportunities are as great as they are throughout our county. We make them accessible.
I love that. Everywhere can't have everything, but we're committed to make and create an opportunity for everyone. And my kids in their educational journey through Seminole County Public Schools have certainly benefited from that as well. And it just takes a lot of creativity and good leadership to do that. And we thank you. A couple of questions in closing, Serita. If you had a magic megaphone that you could speak into it and somehow you had the attention of every parent in Seminole County for 1 minute, what would you like to tell all the parents of Seminole County? What would your advice and counsel be?
1 minute, huh? I would say that I know that we have experienced since March of 2020, something that has kind of turned life and education on its head. And that every aspect of how we kind of had to operate our public school system and educate our students, that was challenged. And I know that as parents, our parents have worked so hard, harder than in the last 20 months than ever before, to be partners with their schools and with our district to keep education happening for our students. So I would first say thank you. Thank you for being partners and surviving this pandemic. And thank you for continuing to trust us and travel the path with us now to ensuring that all of our students have the conditions, the optimal conditions to thrive. And that to me is the goal, that all SEPS students will be thrivers and will graduate with meaningful diplomas. And so thank you for trusting us and for traveling through this with us.
And as a parent, Serita, I would reciprocate and say thank you to you all too. It has not been an easy journey over this last year or so, but you've included us, you've walked with us, you've made it as accessible to all of us, you've communicated well. And, I think we can all give ourselves a pat on the back and said, hey, we're not there yet, but we've come a long way together. And that's really a good thing. So final question, Serita. I'm sure folks would like to find out more about you, maybe get in contact with you, those kind of things. How do they do that? What are some ways that people can connect further with you?
First of all, I would say, please, visit us on the school board website, and then connect with me through email and through call. Email me, Serita, Serita _Beamon, Beamon @seps.us. I want to talk with parents. I want to talk with community members. Let's schedule some time to talk, to learn each other, and to listen to each other, and to make sure that we are moving forward together. So please just reach out. I look forward to working with you.
Well, thank you for that. And I appreciate how accessible you've been already. And I think that's going to make a huge difference as we move forward, because we move forward together. Serita, welcome to your new role. Thank you for your leadership. We're excited about where the future will take you and take us together. And thank you for your time today.
We really enjoyed our conversation with Serita Beamon. Thank you, Serita, for your time and for leading our Seminole County schools so well as the superintendent. I'm sure we will have you back with much more to talk about. Listener, we have a very special way to end this week's episode. Robin Koeppe, our producer, is going to share some inspirational words with you. Robin?
All right. Today's inspirational quote comes from Unknown, and it is, "Stop saying I wish and start saying I will." Stop saying I wish and start saying I will. What good is a wish without any action? And from there, you can do with this information as you wish, as I am not qualified to go any further.
Thank you, producer Robin. I'm not sure Andy and I are any more qualified to add to these inspirational quotes each week, but we give it our best. We'll say the quote one more time. Stop saying I wish, start saying I will. Well, I am going to end our episode for today. Listeners, we sure
I wish you would.
There you go. We hope you've had some fun with us. We hope you have enjoyed our casual conversation about all things Casselberry. If you have not already, would you please like and subscribe? Click the subscribe button on the podcast feed of your choice, and share with a friend the What's Up Casselberry podcast, producing content each and every week about our little community. If you haven't already, find us on Facebook, Instagram, or our website, all with the name What's Up Casselberry. And until next time, we hope that you have a great week.
We did it.